So it's just Christopher and me today. Lucky you, Christopher. So here we are. Everybody else is testing today, or I know one person is sick, so this is it today. It's going to be a small class. Maybe we can get through it quick, be done sooner. All right, go ahead and get out your grammar book. Let's turn to page 151. 151. So if you're watching this recording, I'm sure you did great on your test. I bet you feel glad that you got that done. And now you can move on with life. So much more to do. And we're really close to being at the end of this grammar book. So that's another good thing. So now I'm waiting for Christopher. He's the only one here. And now he ran away somewhere. So I don't know where he went. Maybe he went to go find his grammar book. Did you get it? Okay, good. Do you have, oops, hold on. I gotta turn off this Bluetooth here. Did you get your binder too? Okay, good. Page 151, the adverb clause. An adverb clause is a group of words that begins with a WWW word and contains a subject and a verb. An adverb clause must be added to a sentence that is already complete. This is review. You guys already know this. So what is the adverb clause pattern? Well, it's a www.asia word plus a subject plus a verb. That's the pattern. WWW word plus subject plus verb. And then what are the Asia words? Do you know them, Christopher? The WWW words? Remember what they are?
When, while, where, although,
It's as first, as.
as, since, if, although, because.
Good. Yes, you got it. You're right. And we do have a .b on there. Sometimes we put that as a separate clause, but you're right. As part of the Asia. Good. And then it says, why is this an adverb clause? Because the cat hissed. Why do you think that's an adverb clause, Christopher?
Because there's a subject and a verb.
Yes, it has the word because. That's an Asia word. And then what's the subject of the sentence?
Cat
And then what's the verb?
hissed.
Good, you're right. So it follows the pattern, the WWW word plus the subject plus the verb. Why is this one not an adverb clause? Because of the cat's hiss.
There's no verb.
There's no verb, even though hiss could be a verb, but the way it's written, that's actually a noun. The cat's hiss, it belongs to the cat. And anytime you put of next to the word because, and I've talked about this a lot in class, that changes it to a prepositional phrase. So because of is not an adverb clause. So good job. So here it says, add adverb clauses to complete the paragraph. So this is where you can kind of get creative. It's just going to be you and me, Christopher. That's all right. And I'm going to have you try to think of what we can put on these blanks. So it says, two mice decided to take a walk around the garden since blank. So it could be something like since morning, since the sun came up. What's something we could put there? What do you like there?
Since they were bored.
Oh, I like it. Since they were bored. Although blank, Johnny looked forward to the walk. So what's another adverb clause here? We need a subject and verb here. Although blank, Johnny looked forward to the walk.
Although it was boring.
Maybe we should put it was still boring. because they're already bored. Whoops. You're funny, Christopher. Hopefully you're not bored right now. You don't even have to answer that question because I don't think I really want to know. Although it was still boring, Johnny looked forward to the walk. The mice sang while blank.
While they were walking,
Okay. When blank, the mice became scared.
when the cat came,
Okay, good. A horn honked and tires squealed because blank.
because a car was driving in.
The car was driving in.
Yeah.
Okay. And maybe we should say, well, maybe instead of in, we could say on the road. That makes a little more sense than just in. Two mice decided to take a walk around the garden since they were bored. Although it was still boring, Johnny looked forward to the walk. The mice sang while they were walking. When the cat came, the mice became scared. A horn honked and tires squealed because the car was driving on the road. There you go. It adds a lot more detail to the sentence, makes it more interesting, even though it was boring. Good job, Christopher. Okay, go ahead and go on to the practice page 153. And when you're ready, you can read that, Christopher.
Timmy exclaimed, 5 cats are horrendous. You're invited to stay through the spring and summer if you'd like.
Okay, good. Horrendous is our vocabulary word that means horrible, shockingly dreadful. Check. There's one article. Go ahead and find that by yourself. And then there's 4 nouns. So where are the 4 nouns?
Timmy,
Good,
cats,
good.
spring and summer,
Spring and summer. That's it. Those are the 4. Good job. How about pronouns?
you,
Good. Oops. This part right here for you'd. Oh, that's it. Now there's one more pronoun. Oh,
your,
yeah, it's the you in your. And by the way, these are both missing something. So you'd, let's look at that one first. What's it missing?
the apostrophe,
Yeah, apostrophe. So it goes between the U and the D. And then this your is not the right your, is it?
yeah,
How do you spell it? If you wanted to say you're invited, you are invited, how would you spell your?
y, y-o-u, apostrophe, r-e,
Good. And I put it on top of the pronoun there, but the pronoun is usually you is actually the word you in that word. So that's correct. Good job. So it should be a contraction. You're invited. You are invited. All right, those are the 2 pronouns. And then what about the 2 adjectives?
5,
Good. Actually, we should spell that though, huh? How do you spell 5?
f-i-v-e,
Good. Okay, and that's an adjective. And then what's the other one?
wood,
No, this is an adjective that's going to describe the cats. There
horrendous,
you go. Horrendous. The cats are horrendous. That's describing the cats. So that is the adjective there. How about the CC?
and
Good. Do you want to do prepositional phrase next, or you want to come back to that one?
Come back to that one.
Okay. So let's skip down to the subject verb pairs. And by the way, I see that word stay here, but I see to next to it. So this is not going to be counted as a verb because it's to stay. That's an infinitive. It functions different than a verb. So what are the verbs that you see here?
Exclaimed,
Good,
are,
good,
like,
like, yep,
invited,
good. There's two more that are like helping verbs.
if,
No, it's part of you'd.
would,
Yeah, it's the D in you'd, so it does stand for would. And then there's one in your,
are, are,
the ARE, yeah, this part. So your has the pronoun you and the verb RE, which is are. You'd has the pronoun you and the verb would in there. So good. That's all the verbs. Now, what are the subjects? Who's doing these things?
Timmy,
Good.
you,
Yes, right here, you're invited.
the other you,
The other you, and then
cat,
yeah, there you go. The cats are horrendous. This is a linking verb. It's linking the subject, cats, to the adjective. So you're right, that is a verb too, right here. And that's all of them. Good job, Christopher. All right. What about the adverb clause?
if you'd like.
Good. Yes. If you'd like. You see here. And now we know it's not going to be to stay, but where is the prepositional phrase now?
Through the spring and summer.
Very good. Through the spring and summer. Yes, that's it. And then what kind of an opener do we have here?
Subject,
Which is a number what?
one,
Number one. Good job. And then capitals, you could do that by yourself. By the way, that word five does need to be a capital, the F there. And what am I missing? Oh, your right here needs to be capital because after that exclamation mark. End mark is a period. We already did the homophone was your. The apostrophe was in you'd. And we already fixed the number five. So we're actually done. When you write this later, Christopher, make sure you put that period on the inside of the quotation mark here, okay? It goes on the inside. You did great all by yourself. This is the Christopher show today. All right. Any questions about grammar, Christopher? No, good. Okay. Moving on. Let's get your binder out. Hey, if we get done with class early, we can end early. Woohoo! All right. You wrote about the moving box. This was a couple weeks ago. I know you wrote about the animals and where they live for the practice. And let me just check. I thought you did a great job on that. I think you did turn that in though. Let me double check before I say too much here because I want to make sure. I think you did. Let's see. Oh, maybe not. Hold on. Oh, I see it. You forgot to hit submit, but I see it there. Yeah, you forgot to submit it, but it looks good. Let's see. You got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 paragraphs. That's awesome. And then you wrote about the moving box. So I'd like for you, either you read it or I read it. Which one do you want to read? The one about the animals or the moving box?
the moving box.
Do you want to read it or do you want me to read it?
I'll read it.
Awesome. The moving box. Okay, hold on. Let me see if I can get this too. That was back on 3/24, I think, right? Let me see. I think you forgot to, oh, I didn't see that one yet. Yeah, you forgot to submit that one too. So I'll pull it up though. I see that you're on there. I'm on there now too. Make sure you submit that paper. Are you waiting for grammar?
I don't know.
You don't know? Okay. That's okay. Well, for now, you can just read it. It looks good, but go ahead. I see right away, I see all the dress ups in there. It looks good. So when you're ready, go ahead and read your paper.
Excitingly, Legos are fun, but they could be troublesome if they're alive. Cars and people are one of the normalest things, but if they're Legos and they're alive, that can be weird. Legos are fun, but they can be a complete disaster if not in the correct hands if they're alive. If they are alive, they can build themselves, which can cause a lot of Legos. In this universe, Lego companies just produce Legos and scatter them all over the world. They don't need to build them anymore. Once in a different universe, a lot of things are alive. Oddly, even Lego cars and people. The Lego cars weirdly have walking engines because that's how the drivers drive. The engines are powerful since they have a lot of power. They can move a whole bag of food. Some Lego cars and people are in a box. They move the box slower than usual, which is because of the weight of the cars. The people outside were surprised because they've never witnessed a moving box. The whole neighborhood wonders how they got to life in this great different universe. All of the car engines push together to move the box. The car engine is very powerful. All of the car's engines combined can move the giant box quietly, which keeps the people asleep at night. People cannot get their eyes off the moving box because it's so interesting.
Nice.
They push hard so they can move and maybe open the box. Luckily, it isn't a ghost car, so there are actual drivers in the car because if there wasn't, it would be very concerning. Interestingly, there are Lego people too who push the box, moving it very slowly. Luckily, they have gauntlets that give them more power to push the box. They
Uh,
push, but not nearly as hard as the cars. There are over 100 Lego people that were sent to this neighborhood. All the Lego people and drivers want to get out to examine the world because they've never seen this beautiful world of this box. The Lego people in this universe, known as Universe Lego, it's weird if you just end up there. Lego cars are iconic but alive, one of the most well-known things in this universe. After the moving box incident, they escaped and got a Lego banana for a Lego monkey named Bob.
oh, Bob, yay.
The most significant thing in the story is you know what Lego is. The story wouldn't be possible without the company
Oh
Lego.
my gosh, I love it. And you brought in Bob at the last second. That was perfect. Excellent job. Very good, Christopher. I loved it. Let me give you a little woohoo party party. I loved it. That was so good. It was really entertaining. I mean, I would have never thought of that, but you're right. If they were alive, that would definitely make the box move. I liked how the people were curious about things. And then, of course, Bob, the monkey, needs a banana. So, there's that too. So, nice job. I really like it. It's very creative. All right. Since you're done with that, go ahead and put that away in a finished binder. Okay. We're going to move on to the next lesson. And we're not doing any more test practice because pretty much everybody's doing the test now. So we're ready to do it. And then we're going to move on in our binders. So put away week 18 about the moving box. And then you can get out the next lesson. The next one's called Poisonous Animals. And it is week 19. So go ahead and get that one out. It's kind of a lot of papers. Um, it is a lot. I'm not gonna lie, it's a lot to get out. Let me see how many pages it is. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. It's probably the biggest packet we've had yet. It's all right. We don't need to be afraid of that. Week 19, poisonous animals. You also need a piece of that big lined paper, or not lined paper, the big white paper from the back, if you still have one of those, hopefully.
I'll go get one.
Okay. I actually need to get one too. It's like I'm out. Oh, no, I have one left. All right. While he's getting that, I'll just let you guys know that this is more of we're moving on to Unit 8, formal essays. And the first essay that we're going to practice is kind of like the one that you guys did for your test practice, where you have, ultimately it's going to be 5 paragraphs, but we're just starting with the body paragraphs. You're only going to write 2 paragraphs this week, just to give you a heads up. Okay. This is a informative, explanatory essay. Did you find a paper, Christopher? Okay, good. So, let's go ahead and set up the white paper real quick. So fold it like how we do Taco Tuesday, fold first. That folded. And then you know what to do. Fold it into thirds from there, past the middle, and then the other side over the top. So you end up with a square. And by the way, if you guys are watching this and you're out of your big white paper, because I know you don't get a whole lot, you can use a piece of printer paper. There you go. Good job, Christopher. You just have to write pretty small. That's all. So for this, there are 3 articles. So we're still just going to do A and B and C at the top. And we're going to use our Roman numeral 1 first, and then just do 1 through 5. And 4 and 5 are optional. You may not need those. Same for B, Roman numeral 1, 1 through 5. 4 and 5 are optional. Same for C, Roman numeral 1, 1 through 5. 4 and 5 are optional. And then used outline. This one is going to be Roman numeral 1 and 1 through 6. I'll give you a second to get all that down. Clincher here too. To remind you about the topic clincher. Let me know when you got it, Christopher. Oh, wow, you're quick. Okay. So over here on the bottom under C, we're going to put our possible topics. And over here on this other box under A, I'm just going to have you take some notes right here, okay? So I want you at the top of that box, put steps to writing formal essay. Steps to writing formal essay. when you're writing a formal essay, and you already know this, but this is just review, the first step, step number one, is you have to know what your subject is. That's the main thing that you're writing about in your paper. This week, you are going to write about poisonous animals, and it's poisonous animals that we eat, actually. So it's different than like poisonous animals that can hurt us, but we're going to talk about poisonous animals that we can actually eat and whether or not we should eat them. Some of them are safe to eat, and some of them I don't know. We're going to find out. But that's going to be your subject is poisonous animals and should we eat them? Interesting topic. So then after you know what your subject is, the second step, do you remember what we do next, Christopher? After we know our subject, what do we do next?
Verb,
Say it again.
verb,
You're going to read the articles and you're going to list possible topics next, actually. You're thinking of subject verb pair, but we're looking at like the steps in writing a paper. So you're going to list possible topics. And the only way to do that is to read your articles and find out what each paragraph is mostly about. Remember how we do that? And then we put notes on the paragraphs and we make a list. And that's where this list goes, way over here under C. Okay. Then once you have your list of possible topics, do you remember what we do next?
write a keyword outline.
Yeah, we have to choose a topic though. So choose topics. And then you're going to start. That's right. The next step, number 4, is KWO. And these are called source outlines. So under source A, you're going to write your outline from that article. Under B, from article B. Under C, from article C. And I'm going to put plus fused. So this is when you write your KWOs plus your fused. After you choose your topics, that's the next step. And then once you have your fused outline done, what do you do next after that?
Write the paragraph.
Good, right? The paragraph. Very good. And these are going to be, I'm going to put in parentheses body because this is a 5-paragraph model. So remember those 3 paragraphs from your 3 topics are in the middle. Those are called the body paragraphs. And then what's the paragraph called at the very end after the body paragraphs?
Oh.
Remember the last paragraph?
Attention getter.
No, that's going to be at the introduction. So this is going to be, remember, conclusion. That conclusion paragraph is the very, very last paragraph. Remember that? And then what is the very, very first paragraph called in an essay?
Background.
Right, the introduction. But you're right, Christopher. In the introduction, you have an attention getter and background. And then in the conclusion, remember that's at the last paragraph. That's when we write about the most significant thing and why. So the way we write these essays, they say it's like from the inside out. That's how you write these essays, from the inside out. So you're going to start with the inside paragraphs, which are the body paragraphs, and then the conclusion, and then the introduction. That's on the outside of those. So if you think of when you're writing an essay, write it from the inside out. That will help you plan it better and organize it better. Okay, that's going to help you when you go to write it. All right, so those are the steps. So underneath that, if you have some space, my space is kind of small, but I'm going to put here a little sample outline. I'm just going to put Roman numeral 1. We're going to scrunch them together. Roman numeral 3, Roman numeral 4. If you don't have room here, you can find an empty space. Roman numeral 5. So if you list all those Roman numerals right there. And then next to Roman numeral 1, I want you to put introduction. And then do a little bracket like this for the middle. Those are your body. And then you're going to put conclusion. That's how it's laid out as far as outlines go. Your introduction is the first paragraph. The body paragraphs are in the middle. And then your last paragraph is paragraph 5. That's your conclusion. All right, that's how we're going to do this essay. So number 1, your subject. We already know what it is. Poisonous animals, and should we eat them? That's your subject. The next step is to list possible topics. So we already know number 1. Now we got to look at possible topics here. Okay. Go ahead and get out the first article, which is called Risky Food. Go ahead and tilt your camera down so I can see you better. Okay. At the top of this one, you're going to put A. This is going to be your A article, Article A, where you're going to get that information, okay? Now, this particular chapter or this particular lesson, it's kind of nice. They organized it pretty easily for us so we can figure out what the topics are. So you know how we usually write in the margin what the paragraph is mostly about, but today we're actually going to circle some words because it's pretty obvious. So if you look at the first paragraph, you see how it says puffer fish look cute, but they can be deadly if you eat them. This paragraph is going to be about the puffer fish. So just circle puffer fish. Because we're going to go through this kind of quickly so we can decide what topic we're going to write about. But under possible topics now, put puffer fish. That's the first topic. Puffer fish. That was in Article A. Remember, we're going to keep track of where these topics are located. You got that down? Puffer fish A? Okay, good. I'm just going to read the first sentence. So go ahead. Actually, I want you to read the first sentence. So look at this one down here. Read the first sentence and then tell us what animal it's talking about.
In the second paragraph,
Yeah, right here.
polar bears thrive in the Arctic and can weigh up to 800 kilograms, approximately 1,800 pounds.
So this one's about polar bears. Circle polar bears. That's pretty easy. So we're going to be able to tell what these paragraphs are about by the very first sentence. Polar bears. And this is also in A. Okay, I'm going to just turn the page over to the back. There's a lot to read here, but the next paragraph starts here. So read that first sentence of the next paragraph.
Barracuda are menacing fish that grow up to 6 feet long and can attack without warning.
Good. Okay, barracuda. Let's circle that. Like I said, they organized it pretty easily for us so we can see what the topics are going to be. Barracuda. It's Barracuda. And that's also in Article A, Barracuda. Okay. The next paragraph starts at the very bottom down here. So start by just reading the first sentence.
Whale is a common bird that people have eaten from ancient.
And the next page is page 163. You see that one? Did you not get it out yet? You should have a bunch of pages out. So make sure, Christopher, you get all the way to the checklist out for this lesson. This is week 19, so get them all out. Yeah, it's a lot. Try to keep them in order, okay? So the next page is 163, this one, and you can finish the sentence here.
times until today.
Okay, so that paragraph is about quail. Circle quail. And then write quail here. A. Did I spell that right? Oh no, A-I-L. There we go. Q-U-A-I-L is how you spell quail. Okay, see what we're doing here, Christopher? Does this make sense to you? Yeah, good. Okay, so now set this aside. This whole page right here is about the quail. Hold on. I got to check something really quick because I have a student wanting to come in, but I don't think he's in this class. Let me see. Oh no, he's just early. Okay, we're good. So now we're going to go to the back of this page where the quail is. Back, up, and it's empty. So that's it for A. Okay. Let's move on to this one called poisonous animals. Do you have this page? Page 165. Put a B at the top. We're going to call this one Article B, okay? So we're done with A. Now we're going to move on to B. Go ahead and read that first sentence.
All-winged geese are large African birds that absorb poison from blister beetles.
Good. Spur-winged geese. Go ahead and circle that. Spur-winged geese. Let's put it next. Spur dash winged or not dash geese. And that's going to be B. Spur-winged geese. Okay, did you write that down, Christopher? Okay, good. Next, down here.
Hawksbill sea turtles are beautiful but toxic creatures.
Okay, circle that. Hawksbill sea turtles. I don't know if anybody would want to eat those. I don't think so. We're going to find out after you read this stuff. But hawksbill sea turtles. Hawks. Bill, it's a compound word. Hawks and bill, sea turtles. And that's B. Okay, turn the page over. Backside. So this is page 166. Next paragraph right here.
The barracuda is a fearsome fish.
Good. So barracuda again. Circle barracuda. And instead of writing it here, we're just going to put a B next to barracuda. Comma B next to barracuda right here. Okay. Next paragraph.
The pufferfish is the second most poisonous vertebrate after the golden dart frog.
Okay, puffer fish. We have that. Go ahead and circle it. Next to puffer fish here, we're going to put a comma B. It's in article B. Okay, good. Man, we're cooking. All right, and that was the end of that article. So the next one is on page 167 and it's called Don't Eat That. This is going to be article C. Go ahead and label that C. Okay, go ahead and read that first sentence there.
Some people eat geese on holidays, so one kind of geese can be a real problem.
Yeah, and then it goes on. The second sentence mentions it right there. Spur-winged goose. So that's already on our list right here. Spur-winged geese. We're going to put a C next to that because we're in Article C now. So spur-winged geese. You know that geese is plural for goose, right? Okay. So how about this one? Go ahead and read this one.
Another animal to avoid eating is the barracuda.
Barracuda, circle that. Barracuda right here. Put a C next to that one. Okay. Turn it over. What do you think the next paragraph is going to be about? This is page 168.
Polar bears' livers are full of vitamin A.
Yes, polar bear. I can't imagine eating a polar bear though, but I guess some people do. Hopefully we don't have any vegans in this class. They don't like to eat meat. This one's about polar bear. So let's put comma C here next to polar bears. Next paragraph.
One of the most toxic animals on Earth is the golden poison frog.
Oh, this is a new one. So circle golden and poison frog. Circle those. This is a new one. Got to add this one to the list. So golden poison frog. Golden poison frog C. Okay. Turn that page, or actually that's the back of that. So we have a little bit more on page 169, and that's the last part about the golden poison frog. All right, so now we got it. Look at our giant list of possible topics. Now this week, you're going to write about two of them, two of these possible topics. You're going to notice that there's only one, the barracuda, has information in A, B, and C. So you can choose that one, or you can choose one that only has two sources. If you choose quail, that one only has one source. So I would combine quail and golden poison frog into one paragraph, or hawksbill sea turtles. You can combine those into one paragraph. Okay. You got to have at least two sources for your paragraph. Does that make sense, Christopher? And if you only have two sources, you're going to need all five facts. So you could combine, actually, let me say it this way. As I'm talking about this through with you, you need something that has a lot of information. So you could combine like pufferfish is in A and B, and then the golden poison frog is in C. So if you wanted to do a combo with pufferfish and golden poison frog, you could do that. Then you have A, B, and C. Otherwise, you'll have to find five facts, and that might be a little tricky to do. So what do you think you want your first topic to be here?
Spurwing geese and golden poison frog.
The spur-winged geese and the golden poison frog? Yeah, that would work, except for you. It's in C and C here. I wonder, could you do spur-winged geese and quail? Then you got your ABC, and then save the next paragraph for the golden poison frog. Does that make sense? So you can combine those two. Because when you do C, if you did the spur-winged geese and the poison frog, then you'd only have C here. Because that's it for the poison frog. Does that make sense to you, Christopher? Okay. So spur-winged geese is going to be, oh no, wait, you said, yeah. So for A, you can focus on the quail. And then B and C is going to be spur wing geese. By the way, because it's a hyphenated word, that's just going to count as one. Okay. This is also going to be spur winged geese. So if you're watching this recording, you want to make sure you find a combination of animals that are addressed in each of the articles. So like if you choose pufferfish, that's in A and B. So you need to choose something else that's in C, like the golden poison frog. So hopefully that makes sense if you're listening in. You want to make sure to have something from A, B, and C for each paragraph, okay? And then for your fused, you're going to put quail and poison or spur-winged geese. Spur-winged and geese. That kind of works out for your 3 words there. So for you, you can do like 3 about the quail and 3 about the geese, however you end up doing your fused outline here. Okay. So let's just look at quail first. Let's go back to that paragraph about quail. It's in A, so find article A. Here it is here. I had to erase my stuff, but here's article A, and I think it was, oh, it was on the very bottom of 162. It starts here. So as I'm reading this, Christopher, you can start writing down some keywords on your outline for A. And if it helps you to underline them, you can underline them. If you don't need to, you don't have to, okay? You can just start writing down keywords of the facts that you find interesting about the quail. And it starts right down here. Quail is a common bird that people have eaten from ancient times. Now I'm on page 163, okay? You see that? Okay. And I'll just read it and you can either underline or just start writing down keywords for it. Occasionally, however, people who eat wild quail get sore, weak, and suffer from painful swelling muscles. Interesting. They become nauseous and their heart beats too quickly. Wild quail eaters may become confused and have a lot of pain. People who get sick from eating wild quail are said to have Cauternism. I'm not sure what that is. Cauternism. No one knows precisely what causes the disease, but some people think that Cauternism comes possibly when quail eat the seeds of a plant called hemlock as they travel. Hemlock is very poisonous to humans, but it doesn't bother the birds one bit. When quail eat hemlock seeds, it may make their meat poisonous to people. Other people believe that other seeds may be to blame. Sadly, there is no way to tell if a wild quail is poisonous or safe. It is possible to buy farm-raised quail without risking getting sick. Even though eating wild quail can lead to an illness, some people continue to risk hunting quail and keeping it on the menu. Interesting. Have you ever had quail before? I have not had quail before either, so I do know some people that do hunt quail though. But I didn't realize that it's possible to actually get sick from it, so that's interesting. All right, did you write down any keywords yet or underline any key details? You did? Okay. Looks like you got your lunch there. That looks pretty good. Whatever that was, looks like a lot of fruit. No? What is it? Oh, chips. I thought it was fruit. Chips and a sandwich? Is that what's on there? Oh, okay. Nice. All right, Christopher. Well, we're gonna wrap it up here. Your job is gonna do you're gonna work on Roman numeral 1 and you're gonna set up Roman numeral 2 on the back. Okay. And you're gonna pick 2 topics and you can combine some like you did for this one. Finish up your keyword outline and your fused, and you're gonna write 2 paragraphs this week. Okay. All right. Good job, Christopher. Enjoy your lunch, and I'll see you next week, okay? Bye.